Hi, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about facial proportion. Now, we're going to talk about the basics of actually drawing a human portrait. A lot of people tend to just draw eyes, nose, mouth, and they don't really pay attention to where things go on the face. So I wanted to show you a little bit. The human head is an oval shape, right? Not necessarily round. Believe it or not, your eyes are in the middle of your face. So that's right, cut that shape in half. Your eyes are in the middle. And for a beginning portrait drawing, if you cut that bottom half in half, that's basically where your nose goes, and that bottom third in half again, and that's about where your mouth is. It's pretty amazing. People tend to not believe that your features are in the bottom half of your face, but it really is. Now keep in mind that this is a generic version of a human head. Now your eyes are in the middle, and there's generally one eye length in between each eye. So you can sort of fake that and kind of give a little imaginary eye. Now you don't want to make the eyes too big or too small. And with the pencil, you can go back and decide. Now, some people have a tendency to draw eyes way up here, and you can see it already is looking a little more human-like right here. So pay attention to the eyes. We want to draw the eyes first because that lines up everything else on the face. Here's a little insight. When you draw an eye, you want to draw a football shape, and then you have a little tear duct. Now, we don't want the eye to look surprised, so we're going to do a little bit of an eyelid. That's up to you. And the iris of the eye. I cut off the top of the iris of the eye, otherwise it'll tend to look so surprised like that. But we don't want that. And the pupil, and there's always a highlight. Where does that light shine in? And we can shade it in. There's also sometimes a shadow in the corner of the eye on both sides. And this is a very quick, rough sketch. And then the eyelashes. Whenever something is growing, whether it's eyelashes or fur or hair, you want to draw root to tip. Root to tip. And then we can shade in the eyelid using our blending tool too if you've got one. Otherwise a Kleenex can work as well. So there's basically, the first step in drawing a human eye. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So you want to draw the eyes first, when you're drawing a human, and there's about one eye length. Now you don't want to make the eyes too small or too big. You don't want to look like an action figure, right? The tear ducts right here, if you pull that down, an imaginary line, that makes the outer corners of your nose. And then you can make a little smiley face. So a very generic human nose would be like two parentheses and a smiley face. And then you can make some backwards parentheses for the bridge of the nose and get those eyebrows in. So we've got the eyes and the nose lined up. Now remember, the tear duct lines up to create the outer corner of the nose. Now, the pupil of the eye, so remember we have the eyelid and we cut off the top of the iris of the eye. The pupil right here, the center of the eye, if we brought that line down here, and let's say the center is here and here, that makes generically the outer corners of the mouth. And then we can do the top lip, where the lips meet, and your bottom lip. You can do a little frowny face and make a chin. So look at that. That's already looking more realistic than this guy over here, right? Your ears line up from the eye line to the nose line. So keep that in mind. You don't want to make them too high or too big. And they come up and off the head, right? And everybody's ears are different. Sometimes you'll have smaller ears, sometimes you'll have larger, but this is just a generic human. Now, the mouth line, if you take your finger and you put it on the corner of your mouth, if you pull it all the way back, that's kind of where your neck starts. Well, we don't want to pull those straight down, otherwise we'll end up looking like the Hulk. So we want to curve and curve. And that's a more realistic looking neck than this skinny little neck right here. Your head wouldn't be supported on a neck like that, right? And so we draw root to tip when we draw hair, right? Same thing with the eyebrows or your hair in general. You come up off the head in whatever hairstyle you decide, root to tip. If your hair is shorter, even maybe some sticking up. You've got some longer bangs, root to tip, or possibly a shaved head. So that is basic human facial proportion in a nutshell. Couple tricks of the trade. The top lip is darker. Your pupils, your nostrils, and your lip line are the darkest parts of your face. The pupils, the nostrils, and the lip line. And then you can shade in where it's needed. Draw what you see, not what you know.